Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Chronicles of Sovik. It's been a few weeks since the last recording. As you can see, I'm in a different room from where I normally have been, for anyone that's watched the early episodes of the series. I'm currently back in UK at the moment for about another sort of 6 weeks. I'm in my girlfriend's spare room, so the sound isn't particularly great, the light isn't particularly great, but it is what it is, and we need to sort of crack on because Sovik hasn't done anything for 3 weeks, and we need to kind of progress him along and further his adventures. So let's give you an update on where we are. So the end of the last episode, which is the one where he died on numerous occasions to one of the little bosses in Northern Barrens, and it was incredibly frustrating, which I'm just about over at the moment. We're now back in Orgrimmar, so he's still at level 25. I don't believe I've bought any more gear for him in the meantime. He's probably still got everything he had on before, so that's great. So anyone that's watching the series and enjoying the leveling, the questing, you have not missed any of that. So he is where he is. In terms of the bags, the most important thing is the gold tally, which is should be roughly what it was before. Now I have sold a few items which I took out of the mailbox, which I'll explain as I go through. But the gold, around 50,000 is where I was at the end of the last episode, or beginning of the last episode, so that hasn't changed. So what have we got in the bags then? Now you can see there's a number of sort of transmog pieces up here, of which some of these are tailored, crafted items. So what I have done, whilst I haven't been doing any sort of proper recordings, is I've been chipping away at the professions, and we've got the tailoring now up to level 175 of 300. So we've been making a bit of progress on that. The major stumbling block for tailoring at the moment is the actual cost of the raw materials. With pre-patch for Shadowlands next week at the time of recording, linen cloth, silk cloth, wool cloth, all of the cloths gone up in price, and they're really expensive now. So kind of at a stage where I'd rather maybe find the raw materials and use it myself rather than buy some. I have bought some, there's still some in the auction house, but I've been quite picky about how much I'm spending. Skinning hasn't changed because we haven't been outside Orgrimmar, so that's where it was from the last episode. I have done some work on cooking as well. Again, I can't remember whether that was before the last episode or before this episode, but we have been sort of chipping away at that. Again, this isn't anything I'm looking to make any money on. It's just for his character progression. It's a secondary profession, so chipping away and working on that. Fishing was already at 300 of 300 after the last sort of Dark Moon Fair, where we're getting all the Dark Moon Firewaters and the Dagamores. And actually, at the time of recording, Dark Moon Fair is back on, so the chances are, in the off time, I'm going to go back there, look to make some gold on the Dark Moon Dagamores and the Firewaters. I think the Dagamores were down to 7 gold last time I looked on the auction house, so not much money from there, but we know the Firewaters will sell for about 100 gold each. Okay, so back to the bags. What do we have? These items down here are things that I've crafted myself, which I've been selling, and I've sold a few of these items already over the last sort of few weeks on the auction house. These ones I just haven't listed at the moment because I don't want to put too many on the auction house at any time. And I've also got a number of these, as you can see in the tooltip, in the banks as well. So it's like 6 of them, 12 of them. So when they sell, nip to the bank, grab some more out, throw it on the auction house. These two items up here are things I've bought off the auction house. So some durable shoulders, which I can use at level 31, which I picked up for 3 gold, and a durable robe, which I can use in 4 levels time, which again I picked up for 3 gold, which are great. Now these items down here, all these mithril mechanical dragonlings, is something I bought off the auction house 1 day, 2 hours ago. So I've bought 23 of these, each of them for 90 silver each. You can see by the tooltip, it's got a market value of 1,300, a region market value average of 3,400, with a region sale average of 556. Now, when I saw them for 23 of them, for 90 silver each, I thought, okay, it's worth a punt. So I've effectively spent about 20 gold. I bought a few of these. I've got a couple of them in the auction house at any one time. Not sold any as yet, but 299 each. All I need to do is sell one, and then I've made my money back and a lot more. So I'm going to just keep these in here for now until I get bored of them, keep throwing them on the auction house. I might lower the price just to try and get people interested in them. But again, even if I throw them on for 10 gold each, I'm going to have, 10 times my outlet, so which is fantastic. And these items over here are actually things I just found in my bank when I did before this recording. So I've still got one of these Wise Men belts, which is a vendor flip. I know there's one in the mailbox at the moment, which I've sold. So that needs to go back on the auction house. And I've also got a dual crafting pattern, which again I would have picked up somewhere. Now Unfortunately, fortunately, I'm on a new computer. My laptop, which I brought back from Portugal, is nowhere up to the standard of being able to record and play WoW at the same time. In fact, the graphics I have to have really low because it's a very old laptop. And the computer which I've done all the previous recordings of is my son's computer, which is in Portugal, which I didn't bring back. So I've got a new computer, load of new add-ons, TSM reinstalled. So unfortunately, some of the data are things which I've bought in terms of flips, sales, and bits and pieces have all been lost, which is unfortunate. But going ahead, I'm not going to change the computer again as it's a new computer. We should have all the data on there. We can see the graph of where our sort of gold has been, but unfortunately, a lot of the sales and bits and pieces, like if I go into the ledger, it's just not there, which isn't great. Okay, so let's have a look in the mailbox, because I do know there is some gold in there, and we need to get out. Okay, so I have took a few items out of the mailbox just to try and keep this on one page, so it's 98 items at the moment. And the things I've been removing are like 2 gold sales of this sort of tailoring transmog. Now I'm at the moment not looking to try and make a loads of gold through the tailoring profession, but the stuff I had to make to get my tailoring up to 175, instead of vendoring, I have been thrown on the auction house. So when we go through the sales, there are a few of those items on there. Okay, so let's start at the bottom, which is the oldest piece. So you can see it has been 3 weeks since the last recording, and that's why I haven't emptied anything out of the mailbox, and why it's useful just to get straight back into it. So again, I'm going to kind of skip over a lot of the items and just pick up some of the more pertinent ones. Some of these items here, like the skins, any sort of hides, leather, I picked up through skinning. Anything else like this obsidian bar, clearly I ain't got mining. I would have bought things off the auction house and flipped them. Again, I can't see how much I bought them for, but needless to say, it's probably like gold or something ridiculous like that. Okay, lion meat would have been from Northern Barons. Some of these items up here, like there's going to be a lot of transmog items, which again I can't really remember whether I picked them up in Northern Barons, and like the Cutthroat's Cape I believe is probably that level. That's sort of where I picked it up from, like the Primal up here as well. But if I didn't find it on a previous recording, the chances are I've just bought it off the auction house for a few gold and then sold it on. Okay, more deviant fish, oily blackmouth. Again, just fish. I've just fished from around Northern Barons. Okay, so the first and actually the largest item in this mailbox is this Orb of Mystery. So how did I get that, and why have I sold it? So the Orb of Mystery, for people that don't know, is a vendor component which you can buy and is used to make engineering mounts and bits and pieces. I believe you pick it up from a vendor for around about 18 to 20,000 gold, and I bought one off the auction house for about 3 to 5 gold. Now, so why was it on the auction house? Now I can only imagine that someone has picked one of these up from a Blingtron gift box, because apparently these drop from Blingtrons. So someone's got one from a Blingtron gift box, don't know what it's for, put it on the auction house to 3 to 5 gold, whatever I paid for it. And I saw it on there when I did my auction house search and bought it, and I listed mine up for 15,000 gold. So whoever bought it off me also got a deal as well. I think it was on the I think I had it on the auction house for maybe less than a few hours, and it was snapped up. So someone had obviously looked for it and got it. So for me, it was great because it gave me just a profit of 14,000 gold, and whoever bought it off me saved a few thousand gold as well. So that's really good. I've searched the auction house again since then, and I've never seen another one on there. So very lucky, but it's something I do keep my eyes peeled for. Okay, got a few more transmog pieces there. That's another one of those wise men's belts. Again, I can't see on the tooltip how many. I'm pretty sure I've sold more of them previously, but we can't see anymore, which is a shame. Okay, you can start seeing some of these tailoring items up here. Silk headbands, which are these ones here. There's another one up there. Again, not looking to make a great deal of gold, just selling the stock I had to create to get my profession up. Okay, transmog piece. Again, I can't remember whether I picked that one up or flipped it on the auction house. I'm pretty sure that those mithril scale shoulders is something I would have bought and then flipped. Okay, we've got some Naga scales here. I think I've already got 2 on the auction house as well. Again, I think I bought these when we go and check the auction house. I bought these for like a few silver to 4 gold. I bought 4 of them. So I've been selling them for 90 to 100 gold each. and I bought them for a few gold. So again, it's something worth looking for. Troll tablets, an archaeology item. There's another 4 up there. Again, I would have seen them on the auction house, I believe, maybe for a gold each, maybe for a few silver each. Bought them. I managed to shift them, which was great. Those ones I didn't sell for that much. If you see, there's 8 of them for 190. I then sold 4 of them the day later for 285. The Viking boots are an interesting one. So the Viking boots are an island expedition transmog drop. It's a very sort of wanted set. Some of the items on there does look really good. I bought these, I believe, for 49 gold. Now I did start trying to list these up around the 7,000-8,000 mark. Kept getting undercut. So I ended up dropping down and sold it for roughly about 1,500. Now I do believe they're back on the auction house listed again for around the 7,000-8,000 mark. But you know, I just wanted to buy them, flip them quickly, get some cash, and then move on. So happy with that. Okay, so you see I've sold some linen cloth there. Probably remnants of what I didn't need in terms of my tailoring process. While the cost is quite high, as you can see, that's roughly about 2 gold each, which is, you know, extraordinary for linen cloth. Some more transmog pieces, a few more tailoring things in here. You see I've got some enchant gloves, Zandalari skinning. I think I had a few more of them in there as well. Oh yeah, there's 2 more down here. Again, someone had listed them on for like a gold each. I saw them in the auction house, bought them, flipped them around again, sold them for roughly about 70 gold each, which was pretty much their market value. Made some money on that. Pretty sure that Whispering Bet is a vendor item, which is gone, which is great. Okay, Tongue Lasher is a pet, which I bought. I think I bought him for, it might have been like 100 gold. He certainly wasn't like in a 1 to 2 gold market. Maybe say 50 to 100. But anyway, bought him. Saw that he was far too cheap. I think he's an island expedition pet as well. Threw him straight back on again. Got 500 gold for him, which is great. All the Dark Moon Firewater, which I had still at the end of the last episode, has all gone now. And there's a few more sales up here. With the Dark Moon Firewater, it's a little bit of a tricky one. I've sold all of mine, as you can see by the costs or the money I've gained there, for roughly about 100 gold each. Now I know on other servers, on my EU server, I can get a good deal more than that. However, there was a lot of stock on the auction house, not mine. I had mine listed for about 175 gold, and there was still several hundred below mine. And this Dark Moon Fair got closer and closer and closer. I needed to get rid of the stock, so I put it back on, matched the lowest bid, which was like 100 gold, the lowest sort of value, and it's all gone there. So I don't have any Dark Moon Dagmors or Firewater left whatsoever. It's all gone. But again, it's very similar to what I was selling during the last Dark Moon Fair as well, roughly around the 90 to 100 gold mark, and all this went for 100 gold. Okay, so this Boang's Fang is a blue transmog item I picked up from a rare mob just outside the entrance to Wailing Caverns. Again, this is a little bit on the cheap side. It probably should be more 4 figures than what it is 3 figures. But there's others on the auction house. I think the cheapest on the auction house at the moment is still around about the 600 gold mark. And rather than just sit on it and take up space in the bags or just keep relisting it, just got rid of it. Okay, more Dark Moon Firewater there. This recipe, I'm pretty certain I flipped that. Would have bought it cheap, maybe 50 gold or something, and I managed to sell it for 2,000. I don't believe I picked that one up questing, but it's good. Again, nice little bit of profit. And I'll show you how I do the auction house searches in a minute when we go up there. And there's a few other bits and pieces. The Nerubian Obelisk is very similar to the Troll tablets. This is an archaeology fragment, so to speak. It can fill in the gap, makes up some of the fragments. I'm pretty sure I bought that for, say, about 1 gold mark, and I managed to get rid of that for 740, then take away an auction house cut, which is good as well. Okay, and that's it. So 46,000 gold in the mailbox, which really comes from 2 main sources. Number 1, the Orb of Mystery, which I managed to flip, which was, you know, fantastic spot. And number 2, getting rid of all this Dark Moon Firewater, the last of that. That's really the main 2 sources of that. So what I'm not going to do at the moment is empty the mailbox, because I'm on a new computer. I'll make sure this is recorded right. So I'm going to leave that in again. If it hasn't recorded right, it will sound worse than what I imagine, then I'll have to record it again. But let's have a look in the auction house and actually just see what we've got left in there, which, to be honest, isn't a great deal.
This stuff sells itself.
Okay, so these are our auctions at the moment. So this Reeves module failure detection mode, again, because I'm on a different computer, you can't see the TSM data. I'm pretty sure I picked this up for a few gold. It should sell region market value average of 21,000 with a sale average of 8,000. I've had this almost the whole time I've been offline. I've had this on the auction house for several thousand, 1,000, and it hasn't shifted. So I'm going to keep persevering with it, but this might be something, unfortunately, that hangs around for some, a long time. A few other bits and pieces there. You can see a couple of these mithril mechanical dragoning trinkets I picked up and spoke about before. Some transmog pieces, a few recipes I probably picked up. There you go, picked that one up for 6 gold. I'm trying to get rid of that for 450. That one we can't see how much I paid for it. Likewise with that one, but again it probably would have been a similar amount to what this is. Then we scroll down, we've just got some of the cheaper items, some of the tailoring stuff which I've crafted, which I'm just trying to get rid of, and that's it. So it's not a great deal on there. I believe it's probably about 6,000, I think, if you check on here. 5,900 worth of stuff on that. So before I forget, let me show you how I am doing my scans at the moment. So if I go into browse, these are my recent searches. So in terms of the weapons, I'm looking for any weapon between level 0 to level 60, which is a weapon and is uncommon. So if I click on that, it will now scan the auction house for me, starting or sort of ordering them by percentage of how cheap they are compared to their region market value average. So the first one on here is a Wand of Eventide, which is going for 7 gold and should be more like 478 according to that. But again, there's so many auctions on there, I'm not that interested. And what I would do is I'll have a quick scan down here to see if there's anything that catches my eye and something I fancy trying to flip. There's that Bowen's Fang that we spoke about earlier. Region market value average of 13,000. It's on there for 675. I got rid of mine for 500. So the one I probably potentially could have looked at is this one here, the Dead Mind's Cleaver. The problem with this is so many people are farming Westfall at the moment for linen cloth. There's a good half a dozen on there for 350 gold. So unless I bought all of them and tried to flip them all of them, it really isn't worth it. And you can see the same guy has got all of them. So the chances are if he's got them, he may get more in the future. So it's not really worth trying to do that. So that's one of my searches. Another one is looking for all uncommon recipes. Again, it's down here in terms of percentages. So the rugged leather pants, again, could potentially be a good one. There's 10 of them on the auction house at the moment, so I open that up. After the 10 silver one, 25 silver, 40 silver, so again, I'd stay well clear of that. Maybe looking at some of these purple items. Again, not that great. This one might be okay. Again, it's one of the dual crafting ones, very similar to ones I've already got on the auction house. But again, I'd have to buy the first 2 out to make any sort of money. So again, I'd probably stay well clear of them. So all I do is just have a quick scan through these, see if anything sort of catches my eye. If it doesn't, come back. This is a Firekin Razorkin gear that I spoke about before. It was a Firekin boots which I sold. Are on the auction house now for 8,000 gold. So it potentially could have been the same guy who bought mine trying to flip these. But it's something just worth keeping an eye on because these are very sort of these are transmog sets that people really like. Battle Pets is always a good one. And you remember the Tongue Lasher I bought and I managed to flip that. Again, some of these ones down here aren't that good. What I do is I kind of scan the buyout items and just look for a high amount because it suggests that that's maybe a more valuable pet. But even at 100 gold, that's only 10% of the total costs, which isn't particularly good. Okay, do something very similar with armor from what I do for weapons. Mistscape armor is currently going for 0%. That might be worth picking up. We have to see how many others are on the auction house. And the next one is at 773, so that could be something I look to buy to flip again. The sale rate is 0.02, so that potentially would be a good one. So that's that. And then the trade skill one is where I saw the Orb of Mystery, because it's a part of it falls under this sort of category. So this is where I saw it up this end, and you can see that the buyout item was drastically, well, the percentage was really, really low. And again, I just have a scan through this. At the moment, looking up this area, there's nothing really catches my eye that I want to buy and try and flip at the moment. And then item enhancement, that's where I saw the Zandalari skinning enchants. I can't see any of these at the moment. Again, these ones aren't particularly great. That one doesn't look too bad, but again, once you get past the 8 gold mark, where are you now? 29 gold. So again, you're potentially having to buy a few more of them. Titanium weapon chain, you got 25, 53. It's not a big enough jump for me to then start maybe trying to get make 500 gold on them. And that is it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make this a very short recording, because I do need to just check to make sure this is recorded fine. I know that the sound quality in this room isn't particularly good. I've got the microphone reasonably close to me. I don't know if it's the echo or whatever is going on, but it's not as good as what it was in Portugal. So, you know, I have to kind of sort of persevere with that until I get back there. But yeah, I'm going to finish the recording there. It's a very short sort of update to where we are. Looking ahead in the calendar, where we are at the moment in terms of recording is October the 7th. We've got pre-patch for Shadowlands next Tuesday, which is something to look forward to. Clearly at level 25, there's no way I'm going to get up to level 120 before then. But we'll do some work over the next sort of few days back in Northern Barrens, maybe look to finish Northern Barrens and move on to the next zone. We've still got Dark Moon on at the moment, so again, off recording, I'll probably go there and try and make a little bit of gold. Because it's a great way each month to just try and do that. I know that the prices aren't particularly good at the moment on either the Firewaters or the Daggermoors, but again, there's something I can just chip away at and watch Netflix, you know, off recording. And then the following Sunday, we've got Hallow's End begins. So I like to get involved in that. Unfortunately, we missed Brewfest because I didn't want to do anything with Brewfest when I couldn't record anything for the series. But it is what it is, and we can just crack on from there. So anyway, if you managed to get this far, thanks for watching. Again, apologies for where I am at the moment. It doesn't sound particularly great, I know, and it is a very short recording, this one. Next recording, we'll head back to Northern Barrens, get into Ratchet, and we'll crack on and see if we can make some progress on him and get him on his adventures. So until then, thank you and goodbye.